Good morning, good evening, and hello. Welcome to Mystic Moons. Are you ready to take a journey out of the box where few people dare to go? Why don't they dare to go? Some people just don't have time. They're just so closed in the 3D world that they can't and don't want to think beyond the one, two, threes. However, for those that have a itching to travel to places where answers can be found, where all answers exist, all possibilities exist. To you and those who think like we do, let's take this trip. Let's first of all cleanse the air. We want to go in that in-between space. That in-between space that doesn't really have a name. It has space. People call this space a few different things, but for all reality, it's nameless. But it exists. And we all know it exists, even though many of us need to have someone else say this space, the name for it, the conditions for it. But of course, if you wait for that day, you will have long since lost contact with your terrestrial body. So before that happens, let us take some trips. First of all, let's review things. Let's think about alien disclosure. Now, we were told, you and I were told, especially in the United States, that Trump would tell us what was what. What aliens, do they exist or do they not exist? Disclosure, alien disclosure. That was a big part of his campaign to get elected, besides no foreign wars and, all the rest of the things that didn't come true. But let's think for a moment. Did alien disclosure actually happen? But it didn't. But you know how information in the United States, in the West in general, it gets trickled down. Need to know. Secrets. We all know secret societies are running the show, right? They're running the show. Many people have lost faith in their political systems all over the world because we're all aware that reality is in flux. Many things are opening up, partly because the heavens are very open. Many of us, when we go outside, we know we're not looking at LED lights, flashlights, sparklies in the sky. We're looking at planets, galaxies. We're looking at organisms, beings, either beyond our dimensional 5, at the top of us goes for 5D world, 4 and 5D world. Beyond all those things, there is essence, living, breathing essence. You can use the word essence, beings, whatever. We know that there's more than just human animals. Now, you can be in denial and call them all sorts of names, devils, demons, fallen, this and that. It's irrelevant what you call them at this point, because they have their own names. This is like the Americas, the indigenous. There is the colonialistic name for the different tribes, and there is the people themselves, what they call themselves. But that's another subject. Back to alien disclosure. What I want to ask the spirits, and I'd like your assistance in this quest, I'd like you to help me, help us understand. Because something feels very queasy in the belly of our stomachs. It just doesn't seem right. How all of a sudden, Three Eye Atlas comes the nearest it came. So it's 150 miles from Earth, the nearest until a certain date, before it head off to Jupiter or someplace else. Anyway, and then all of a sudden, Donald Trump becomes super ballistic. He becomes the Don. I will take over the world. I will do this. I will do that. You better. More threats, more bullying. And then he puts a hint every now and then. Our technology, our this, our that. We have stuff the world never seen before. Where do you think that stuff came from? Now, okay, granted, we have bases and things that are not told to the masses. We know all that. I mean, the bases were like common knowledge in the 50s. If you go read a book or two, underground dumb bases, DUM, underground military bases, they were, I mean, everyone was doing it and everybody knew it. Now it's like whoosh, 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 as though we had memory loss in the last 60, 70 years, even though all you have to do is pick up a book or dig enough. Dig, 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 dig. And of course they try to keep us full of things, busy work. So we won't, and toys, video games, smartphones, puzzles. Do you know on LinkedIn, when you're getting a job, they want you to take puzzle quizzes. You're looking for a job. Your life is in your, it's right in front of you. It's like you can put it in one bowl, alms bowl, gimme, gimme, gimme. And they want you to like, hey, take a moment and play puzzles with other people looking for a job. That's how out of touch we are with what's really going down. But back to the cosmos, back to the search. Now, we all heard about alien disclosure. We saw all those orbs, all those ships, all those drones doing remarkable anti-known physics. Oh, not anti-known, well, yes, unknown physics to our minds. And of course, the United States is known not to be the most brightest place in the world, collectively. But besides all that, we saw things all over the world that defied every single thing, every single concept. And Donald Trump said, I will tell you, we will have alien disclosure. And what do we get? Nada, nothing. Pits, zip, zero, a big zero. And when I want to ask the spirits, did Donald Trump did indeed have disclosure, but with himself and his buddies. He had disclosure with alien that only benefited him at this point, which is why he is so full of bombastic hubris. Listen to me, he's even tougher and tougher and tougher because he has, this is the question, does he have aliens on his side, their technology and more? And what did he trade off? Now, do you see that he also said that he would get to the bottom of chemtrails. He would stop chemtrails. It's even heavier than it ever was before. It looks like a tic-tac-toe hangman type of thing. It looks like, you're playing in the sand. Sandcastles can be made out of the clouds, and they're zip, 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 zip. The old sky, you have to paint a sky to get an old sky. Dimming the sun, and this has been going on for decades. It's not new. And we do know they're not putting vitamin C, vitamin D, nothing healthy in the sky. Strontium, aluminum, cesium, radioactive cancer-causing things. We know all this. We know all this, but yet has it stopped? Are we even asking for it to be stopped? No. We're talking about squat, CO2, carbon dioxide, which is technically a little bit of technical. Carbon dioxide is it's less than 1%. It's 0.004% of the makeup of our air, right? That's like finding a flea in a field, perhaps. That kind of like ratio, right? A flea in a field. Now, so for this hubris of all these things going on, do you or do you not think that we are being played? We are being, because we're out of the loop. What do you think? Do you think that isn't this possible with this secret need to know, different tiers of information? Space Force with millions and millions and trillions of dollars disappeared for decades, years and years, and the budget goes up and up and up and up. Up and up and up and up. Do you think that they did make a deal? He's known for, the real estate guy is always making deals. The art of the deal, everything about, let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Do you think he's going to change his vernacular, his speech, his words? Because to whom he speaks to is not human, but an alien race. He's still going to say, let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. So what kind of deal would Donald Trump make? A deal that got him the best. The best. It's not a sharing. It's not a sharing. You don't get to be a billion and trillionaire by sharing. You think Musk is really sharing? He even has children all over with different women. And he's like, I want full custody. He's going for the latest one. So we know it's the latest one. But what time does he have to spend being a father? Well, how many women? I don't know, 5, 6? How many children? 15, 14, 15, 16? Who knows? There could be more. He could be like Epstein with his thousands of little embryos growing at the ranch. And of course, we do know that other trillionaires, billionaires, millionaires are growing their little spawn too. In a tube, in an artificial. So we know all these levels of things are happening. Hello? Hi, Chris. Yes. So, Chris, do you believe that it's possible that disclosure did happen, but Donald Trump kept the information and made it all for himself? It's why he is so hubristically, vehemently telling you, do what I say, or else. He's so bossy. So, what is behind him? And the best military? No. So let's just see. It just sounds that there's something more than meets us. There's something more. So let's just ask, how are you doing? Yes, what do you think? Let's just see. Now let's take this trip again, all right? Let's just start with this deck first of all. And let's see. This is always good for cut, dry assessments. Psychic feels. Great. That's good. Now come and join me, Chris. Let's stay with the issue. Let's stay with this. Give me your energy. Lend me your energy. Do you think that Dom, the art of the deal, and he is a wheeler and dealer from way back when. He's 80 years old. He's been dealing all his life. And a New York dealer. Remember, the clouds, the skies, the chemtrails are more intense than ever. That hasn't been done. Wars are everywhere. We have a dozen wars plus and growing. The list is growing. And those super soldiers, those strange, that were able to just come down in Caracas and just wheel their leader away, and the guards were helpless. Now, man to man, we're all built the same without enhancements, that is, etc., etc., etc. What has happened? Something is different because ever since Three Eye Atlas came close, we've had this bravado, this gang, this outlaw of like, I'm getting, as though he was given a time limit. Could have given a time limit. Hello, yes, Donald Trump could have been given a time limit. Don't you think so, my Canadian friend? He could have been given a time limit by the aliens. We'll give you this, this, and that, but you must deliver. Which is why they're so antsy, why they're so paranoid, because they know they're dealing with an advanced race. Now, let's see if all these hypotheticals I'm throwing out with the aid of the spirits of the cosmos, of the universe, of the earth, gather around and let's see. Is the art of the deal, did he have some kind of deal with this advanced race? It's not far-fetched, is it? Let's take this one. It's not far-fetched. It's a possibility. It's a possibility and a nuance. Why not? Why not? It won't be the first time and it won't be the last time that aliens have in contact, or merged with us, no matter what you call it, angels, demons, devils, fallens, interdimensionals, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that something's going on. That's big time, big time. And if we're lulled into some fantasy of like Big Daddy's going to take care of us or Big Mama's going to take care of us, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way because we're all born free and only in the prison of our mind-controlled minds. The illusion. Definitely, yes. So let's see. Okay, now I'm going to ask. Okay, let's see. Now, which one? This one. Now we'll start with this because this is a very plausible type of thing to ask. It's not far-fetched to ask these questions because they're never going to tell us. They're never going to tell us because they want the sweat and the slaves to sweat, toil. We have the Empress. The Empress. That would suggest that's a high card, isn't it? The Empress. Hello, Fred. What do you think? We need to tell. Now, we do know that they are aliens. And if you think they're not aliens, then you're just being closed and frightened. They're more than just Earth. Now, this Empress tells us that there is the hierarchy, again, which I don't like to think of hierarchy, but need to know or more developed. We have the Empress. This is almost like a form of agreement. I'm getting the vibration. A form of agreement that someone, let's just say the Trump and his buds, have made a deal that they're more receptive. Now, you don't, the law of equal exchange, we all know about that. We all know, right? We all know. They don't give anything for nothing. They're not, what are they getting out of us? What are they getting? Oh, they want this ritualistic murder and blood from all over the world? North America, South America, Europe, Asia, all over the world? Africa, all over the world. Give us blood. Well, maybe they want eyeballs or brains. Who knows? Maybe we're on the menu. Again, look at this. Look at that. I conquer the world in destruction, the tower. Eek, eek, eek. A high court and a top card. The tower. Let's see what else. Did aliens make a deal? Didn't I? With Donald Trump for him to go around so bombastically? I'm going to get you. I'll get you. I'll get you. And look at this. Look at this reading so far. Magician. Work your magic, Donald, with my permission. I'll give you this, but you damn well better give me something. A warlock. You just reminded me of something when you say a warlock. Let's see. You do know, of course, my listeners do know that the MAGA, which they say is the capital letters for Make America, blah, blah, great again, is also a word in the Church of Satan. In the Church of Satan, it's the highest level. You can look it up. Go look it up on the Church of Satan. Don't be afraid. Find out information, because information is the key to open up your thoughts and get rid of control. Education. Educate yourself. MAGA means MAGA is the female receptive to the Church of Satan, the highest level. You can't even ask to become a MAGA, or the male is MAGAs. You can't even ask. If you ask, it's over for you. It's over. It's over. It's over. So we have the Empress. We have the Tower. And I wouldn't say this is particularly a good tower, because the question we're asking, did the aliens make a deal with Donald Trump? Did he make a deal with them that he doesn't want to share the information with us? Only we're the best, we're the greatest, we're this, we're that. We're Americans. We're people. The whole world is going to become Americans according to Donald Trump and his administration, right? No longer are we going to be separate tribes. We'll just be all slaves. And here we have the Ten of Cups. Well, we have the Ten of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups. Wait. No, the Nine of Cups. Excuse me. The Nine of Cups, the wait and see, it's set up. It sounds very much like deal making to me. Doesn't that sound like deal making? The Empress. Tower. Which is all the warfare, the bullying, the threats, do this, do that. Prices so high, no jobs, this insane rhetoric that we're trying to get AI and software, excuse me, I'm getting excited. AI, artificial intelligence, robots, software is going to take human jobs away, and you will just sit around and play. Sit around and play, right? While others get rich and you will own nothing. All this rhetoric we heard over and over and over again. Well, there's a small group of people that are adamantly striving to make those few words the pledge of allegiance to the new world order. Isn't this mission? And this is also why they're not telling us that aliens, the disclosure, the chemtrails all over the world, especially the United States. I mean, look at this crisscross skies. I mean, to get a sky, you have to draw it. You have to paint it. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad. As if these beings did not require, or they do require, radioactive chemicals, which the skies are being seeded for them, not us. Remember that John Carpenter movie, Them, or They? They live. Yes, they live. They live. And then you have this Nine of Cups. Watching, giving you a time limit. Like, when's the show going to start? And Donald Trump is on a schedule. He is on a schedule. Now, you know, too, that one thing about alien contact, disclosure, our little P's and Q's and words have nothing to do with them. They look upon us as fleas, maybe, just sounds. They look upon, that's a good earth animal, or that's a bad earth animal. I mean, there's no morals in an advanced civilization looking at a less advanced civilization with their own scares, their own frights, their own limits. When I say limits, I don't mean moralistically in terms of lower emotions, lower vibrations. I'm talking about being where you're supposed to be, Bullying, intimidation, name calling, being stupid is not the way. And that's the show, the chaos, the whole thing, which people that are frightened, they go into those places. I got a job. That's not what I want to hear. Now, you can see in a deal-making situation, this is all the forces that are going into this. Yes. Bugs. Yes. But of course, there is also, one thing about the beauty of Earth, all the different types of creatures, mammals, fishes, arachnoid, whatever you say, insects. I mean, all birds. I mean, there's so many different types of creatures. Now, in another planet, the mix is probably different, totally different. There's so much to explore, so much to learn, so much to grow. But as long as we have a huge segment of humans who live in a non-reality, who live in a fantasy world, calling people names, doing things, acting stupid, being fearful of advancing to the openness of the universe. And you could say, oh, what does the universe have to do with me? I'm right here on this property. I got to pay my bills. I got to do this. I got to do that. Yeah. But every day you go outside. Your sky that looks like some kind of crisscross jigsaw puzzle. The clouds aren't the same. You have all these streaks in the sky. Oh, that's not normal. But yet you say, it's been happening for 20 years or so, but it's normal. But you do know that they're not giving you lollipops and gumdrops in the sky. You do know that. And at night, you can see, you look up in the heavens, and you're not alone. But you can go, oh, this is just me. But there are things in the sky. There are things everywhere. Beings. You're not going to wait for us to be able to get off our asses and on our feet and be strong enough to accept our position of being in the cosmos. Yes, they just are not going to wait for you or I or anyone who's sluggish. That's where Donald Trump feels, hey, I know, and the other people in governments all over the world, I know, and you don't. Now, I don't need to have someone tell me, bump. No, I don't need to know. You don't need to know. Feel in yourself and reach out. Use your sense of being alive. Don't limit yourself with rhetoric that is just meant, or word usage, whatever language you speak, to be controlled. They want us angry. They want us separate. They want us name calling. They want us fighting among each other while they reap in the wealth of the planet. Your food bowl, you see these commercials on TV. This little puppy has an empty food bowl. How many people do you know have empty food bowls? And how many people will have empty food bowls? How many people have so much food to go, yeah. And do we worship those types? Do we listen to their mindless jibber jabber? Because they have a gun down our heads, a gun down our throats. Is that the way to rule? Is that the way for a modern, not even a modern, let's take that word away, a frequency, a 5D, a higher frequency human, to join with the cosmos? Because that is where the goal is. People will say all sorts of things, but I mean, those kind of, who the hell cares what they say? Who cares what they say? It's not important. It's not important. Contact with who you are and who they are. Who they are. That's important. That's important. And that's why we haven't heard alien disclosure yet, because they don't want to say, hey, humans. Right now, we're trying to put categories. One tribe, Chinese tribe against the Americans. And the Americans have 200 or more different tribes within that one consensus, which is crazy. And so do the Chinese, and so do the Russians. But the point is, we're all four-chambered bipeds with needs, similar needs. Eat, sleep, love, work together, learn, share. That's an advanced civilization. Not one that goes around clobber, 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 and your goodies are my goodies. No. So, and not all alien races are cool or groovy or whatever words you want to use, old or young. It doesn't matter. Not all of them are into sharing, and they're all into what's in it for me. The basis of everything is what is in it for you. If they're going to form a contract with you, and I don't mean some kind of interspecies, whatever, or interdimensional, you be my familiar and all that kind of crap. I don't mean that. I'm saying, if, in terms of Donald Trump, a figure, a leader of a nation, if they were into giving you technology, what are you going to, and they give a contract, they're going to give a certain amount of days, or else they'll blow you to smithereens. And what are you as a leader like Donald Trump giving back to them, the aliens? Well, they're keeping quiet, number one, about any type of deal they may or may not have made, right? Any deal they may or may not have made. Thank you. Bye-bye, Chris. Yes. Any deal they may or may not have made. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. Mystic Moons appreciates all the conversation, all the thoughts. Trying to put out ideas out there to make everyone think about what's really happening. What's really happening. And the fact that we can stimulate one another, the brave of us, the us who do not need hand-holding. They need words, sharing, a community of people. And I appreciate all the support, and thank you for, subscribing. And if you would like to have a reading, contact me. You know how to do that. And just the fact that we're all here at this time and place, that matters a lot. I really appreciate that. And I want you to know that. So just remember that we're in this together. We're here for reasons in this time and place. And we have to question. We have to question. Seriously. It's a big possibility that Donald Trump has made he's always bragging, let's make a deal, let's make a deal. I repeat again, do you think he's just telling other nations, earth nations, countries, to make a deal with him? That's his vocabulary. Beautiful, it's really beautiful. What else did he say? Let's make a deal. He is a real estate from New York developer. The word usage is like, 5 sentences. He's not going to change. He's not going to change. What's in it for me? What's in it for us? What's in it for me and my clan? Yes. So, think about it, though. Think about it. Think about the haste, the speed of execution, of trying to topple places. You're not, even the excuses, you drugs, you look at me wrong, you say the wrong things, you do this, you that. You're not following the program. There's some kind of like time. There's a playbook. There's some sort of playbook. There's some sort of playbook in at hand. Has to do. Can't you just see it? An alien ship lands. Need to have need a lot of silver. They need a lot of something for their gears, for their machinery, for their fuel. And I don't mean they get oiled up. I don't mean that. They work on an anti-gravity type of situation. Something. Yeah, they could need our goal. I mean, they need something. They need something. Something. What is it? They want something on this planet. Huh. You would even kind of think those nuke plants were built because they generate certain chemicals that are necessary for their interstellar travels. It's definitely something's up. Something is definitely up. Something is in the ether. The fact that they're willing to take this whole planet, mess it around, disturb the population, and you have such willing people like Donald Trump administration that is all gun ho. Gun ho. This is not the first time this stuff has happened either. It's not the first time. It's not the first time at all. It's not the first time we've had these type of choices. And you think back when Hitler in the 40s, when he was, I want the world. You got this whole, give me the world, I'm the leader of the world, right? He used a phrase. And him with his contact, his spaceships, his circular or development, his secret, this and that. So this has been going on for quite a while. And for those who are not blessed, per se, but they managed to get their hands on inter-civilizations, past civilizations, artifacts, and books. But the thing is, why do they keep us, especially the people in the United States and the rest of the Western world, in such a secret ignorance, in such a broad, blatant ignorance? It's not even secret ignorance. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? As though we can't, because maybe the door is so easily opened by any one of us that has a higher frequency, that they're frightened because they would lose their hold. They would lose their hold. I'm going to sneeze just a moment. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. I'll leave this up for a little while. This reading gives a lot of reflection about it's a very real possibility that this could be what's really happening, especially with these secret groups that never like to share their information or what they're doing. It's always secrets, secrets, secrets. I wonder if humans were always so secret. And why is there such a need to have secrets? Especially since many of us do not like to take any type of independent action, put it that way. I mean, throughout our development, we always have groups of people that come under the leadership of one, a king, a tribe, tribal leader, shaman, of this, of that. I mean, the need to have a community of same thought. It's very strong, very strong. But in that community of similar thoughts, there's always a few that they want more, or they know there's something more beyond the saturated oneness they were always given reflection to have. Saturated oneness. But like a lot of things, people outgrow clothes, they outgrow tools and norms. And they can have a tendency to extend the norms, and I mean, just like, let's say, sexual norms. I mean, that's not even on the program. It's so stupid. It's really stupid. It's just a sign that they don't want you to continue to raise your chakra levels, raise your frequency levels. I mean, that's just this distraction, just a distraction. Mating urge, mating urge. Point is, where are we going as a species if we keep on mindlessly going nowhere? Of course, we have a few very wealthy people who are saying, we'll go to Mars, we'll go to the moon, we'll do this. I mean, we ourselves, the masses, are not going to Mars, are not going to the moon. You just want to trash this place up or give this earth to some other species. Give it back, maybe. You know, the earth is like almost 5 billion years old. And, you know, do the math. Do the math. And we're still there acting like the perceived caveman, rock people, rock cave people. Thump, 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 thump. Beating drums. Living in fear. Something stronger, bigger. So we're told. So we're told. So we're told. So it's all very complex, but I mean, we have to start our thought processes going. We have to free ourselves and stop thinking of, you know, the easy little words and stop going, yes, ma'am, no, sir, yes, sir, or just acquiescing and giving away our life. For what? A grave, a watery grave, a sandy grave, a fiery grave. What are you giving your yeses away and your collective stupidity? Why are you diving into that pool, that swamp of, actually, if you think about it, it's quite idiotic. When you think about the entirety of the universe, right? When you think about all of the other planets that are trying to, watching, thinking about, or have made contact, we don't know because we're not being told, but we could feel there's something more than this barbarism, daily barbarism. They say, oh, life is tough and this and that. But some people, lots of people, make it tougher and harder than it has to be because they get satisfaction out of your sweat, out of your sweat. And maybe a collective, an alien race likes that lower vibration, that lower frequency. That could also be the trade-off that perhaps Donald Trump has made to keep the disclosure details to himself. I mean, let's face it, he would not share. He would not share, or any other one of those billionaires would not share with you or I or the masses, the rest of the masses, about alien goodies, alien technology. He would not. He would make sure that him and his were comfortably set up, and whatever collateral damage, whatever pawns, whatever trade offs he would have to make, he would do so. They would do so. Leadership would do so. But would it be their own spawn? They're not like scientists. Scientists go right ahead. Use my kids. Use my this. Use my that. Use me. I'll do it. I'll be my own guinea pig. No. Politicians, the political class is different. Very different. It's all me, myself, and I first. There's no such thing as the country they voted them in first. It's themselves first. Themselves. It's very interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting to speculate, to feel, to let your mind just fly here, fly there, go here. All these spaces, what they tell you, no, don't go there. Do not. Do not attempt. Do not attempt to adjust anything. Just accept. Accept what you're told. It's almost as if and then they gather in these gladiator type arenas. Rah, rah, the roar of the crowd. And beware where someone is sending you to feel uptight about something too. And what is the reason? Like right now, who is the instigator behind discord, behind upsetting, and what is upsetting the way? Well, I'll leave this up and you could think about it for a while. Now, the idea that we were going to find out alien disclosure with electing Donald Trump, right. What's in it for Donald Trump to tell us, the middle class, the lower class, the upper class, ones outside of the particular groups, clubs, about the real deal as they know it? And then again, you have to think about lots of aliens do not care to be involved in the leadership of a particular Earth clan, Earth group, because when you have more power and you're looking down at something lower than you, lower development, and you have more knowledge, then you can understand the levels of intelligence being higher frequency. I mean, the fact that they could just add up. Well, you can look in terms of farm animals per se. You can tell what animal has this and what animal has that. Pets, you can tell the personalities, the differences, the capacities for doing certain things. The same thing with more advanced beings. They can tell. So you don't need to be a leader of a group to be interacted with. It's true. And if they want, and they say, and you could say, oh, the leader has weapons, it could cause harm. Well, a mosquito can bite you, and that could, like, a mosquito can bite you, and that could give you, depending on where they bite you. But who wants to be bitten by a mosquito, right? You can still squat it, spray it, smash it, etc. Now, and then there's even earth animals among ourselves who have infused the mosquito with biohazards. So, and that's another subject. But I'm just saying that just because someone is in leadership, a politician, does not matter that they necessarily would get all the interstellar alien first come speaking to, first come dialogue. Nor would a religious sect, nor would someone who deals in this spiritualistic development of humanity, human animals, humans. So it's all very, it's all open. It's open. It's like when you go into a huge soccer field, a huge sports field, and it's not having practice, they're not having a game. And you can walk around that whole field and, like, you can hear the echo of maybe a pre-game or a game that will happen, or and nothing, or just listen to the sounds of the sky and the wind and the birds. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, right? It's time, there's space, there's openings. Nothing is rigid as you put yourself in a particular prison of thought that has been imposed by repetition, by your family, by your teachers, because that is what they're paid to do, or that is what they feel comfortable talking about, right? So asking yourself, have we already had alien disclosure? And if someone brags, I'm going to tell you this and that, and then they get in the position to tell you this, and that, and they do not tell you this, and that, watch out. Watch out. Think about reasons why. And then they act totally 180 degrees different from what they said they would act. And we have seen Donald Trump act totally different. But how can it end? How will it end? Comments are welcome. Comments are welcome.